Hi guys, it's me, Jizzle Understand again, and for this video that I will be dedicating to Asian History Month in the year 2025, I shall be covering a movie which I didn't see when it first came out because I was in junior high school, so I figured that, a Disney movie about a little girl and an alien were a little too immature for my superior mind. But, I'll tell you one thing, I just saw this movie for the second time, the first time being on Netflix before Disney got their own network, Disney Plus. And I gotta say that this movie is incredible. I freaking love this movie. And it just happened that in a couple of days, they're going to be releasing a live action version of this beloved movie. And it looks promising. So, how much do you want bet it's going to be crappy? I mean, how much do you think that's going to suck? Maybe not as much as Lion King or Snow White and the Sun Dwarf, for example. But I have a good feeling that it's gonna be awful. Somehow it's gonna be bad. But I don't know. I am hopeful for this one. Yeah, I'm hoping that it'll be good, decent, and all that. But we can say that in the original one, in the 2002 Lilo Stitch, the one that's done in watercolor for Hawaii, I guess, they do a spectacular job with it. And they do a spectacular job with the CG animation too. And the characters are wonderful, so is the voice acting. It's all great. And the new version looks promising. Let me just hope to God that it's gonna be good. I really hope that this one's good. I mean, I might like it. I'm probably not gonna see it when it comes out, but I'm sure it's gonna be decent for me at least. I know that there are some real hardcore Lilo and Stitch fans out there. I know that there are a ton of sequels and spin-offs for it. And I think that the TV show too. I didn't see the TV show yet. But I know the original and the sequels and stuff are good. So anyway, on my second view of this great movie, I did find a few 7 or 8 different movie references that I'm going to talk about before I talk about the main movie. Because I have a good feeling that I'll probably forget what they are. Okay, now let me just get over this first. Now, I'm going to try to get these in order to what I've seen in the movie, but no promises, no guarantees. Okay, now, let me see here. The first one is, one of the first ones, is that when Stitch comes to Earth, he is very tired and very ornery, and very wild. So, the girl, Lilo, puts a lei upon his neck. Now, lei is like a ring of flowers that Hawaiians put around naked people for against tourists and stuff to show off the beauty of the islands. So when she does this Stitch gets more docile, more family-like, more like a pet, and he falls to the ground. This could be a very direct reference to Inuyasha, because Kagome does the same thing with Inuyasha. She puts a necklace around his neck, and then he becomes docile. To the point that she said the word sit, and he crashes into the ground. So that's number one reference. Number two is they have a plane in the movie which flies in between two mountaintops, which is very similar to what you would expect for 9/11 until they changed it because it was so close to that whole event. So they made it into mountains, whereas I think in the original it's supposed to be buildings. But anyway, the plane wing just above clouds, just like what they do in the Jaws movies. Okay, and that's very good too. And then you got this other guy, this main character called Mr. Bubbles, played by let me see here, Vic Rains, Cobra, like Cobra, and it's really funny because that, number one, this is the first thing I think of when I think of Mr. Bubbles, one of the Big Daddy's Fire Shock. Funny thing, I went to a convention one time and got my college and storybook, and one of the people over there was dressed up like a Big Daddy, like that version of a Big Daddy, with his, I guess, 6 or 7-year-old daughter dressed up like a little sister. It was so adorable. This guy in this huge holding armor, all that, it was funny as hell. But it must have been hot in that thing. Okay, now I was that mentioned Jaws, I mentioned English, and I mentioned that one. Oh yeah, that wasn't technically the reference that I would go for, because in there he meets up with a Grand Alien Councilwoman, and she's played by Zoe Cadwell. But in any case, the pop culture reference comes from the fact that the guy already met the woman already once before in a big Roswell thing, very much in line with the Men in Black films, kind of like Agent J. So that makes number 3. Including and there was that one, and then there was the part with Jaws. Next thing is the part with the ice cream guy. This is too funny because no matter what the man can do, he always ends up losing his ice cream off his cone. Well, it's like Hudson Hawk. Well, his compatriot, played by Danny Aiello, can't drink a espresso drink to save his life, because every time he does so, it's Hudson Hawk, played by Bruce Willis, that can't drink the drink, because every time he does so, it'll get shot or destroyed or something at his hand. So that makes number 4. Number 5 comes when when he has Stitch in the dog kennel and stuff. They show him in the dog kennel with the other pooches, and they're terrified of him. obviously, because he sent some different writing, some alien writing. But that in itself is a direct reference and direct scene from the movie The Thing from 82, Tracer Trees and so on. So the dogs in there will also get shitless of a alien that can shift into a creature that kills them. Well, yeah, that can kill them and does kill them. Okay, let me think here. What are the other two movies? Oh yeah, it's also a Godzilla reference, quite obvious. Or it could be a Jurassic Park reference. I don't know which one it is because it is San Francisco based tech, so it could be either or on that one. Because I know that there was a Jurassic Park 2 in which one of the dinosaurs goes loose in Frisco and destroys everything. That was San Diego, but some difference. I'll see here, and there was one more. Oh yeah, there was Dragon Ball Z. There was the part in the movie where Stitch catches a laser beam by Jumbo, played by David against Styles, the guy from Jungle to Jungle, the Russian guy, in which he takes the ball of it, plasma, whatever you call it, and chucks it back at him. That was really funny, but only I could figure that out. Let me take here. With anybody else? Let's see that. Yeah, I think that was it. The entire thing is basically a parody of E.T. with the alien and with the adorable kid and stuff like that. And this cast, like the other freaking park, when they do it, it's so delightful to hear this, especially with Deva Keith as Lilo and Tina Carreri as Nani, her older sister. But the thing about Deva Keith is that she's not Hawaiian, so she's a little white girl who plays a little white girl. She does a spectacular job with doing it, but we kill them to get an actual Hawaiian girl to do it, like you did with Moana. We could have got a Polynesian person to do that role. I know that there's some movie reference somewhere, but I'm sure I'll probably remember as I go through this. So anyway, we see that Jumba is being her trial in like a big interstellar council for his crimes against mankind for creating a monster, a destructible beast named Stitch. Now, I like this because it's kind of like a Frankenstein monster, big stupid hulking monster that knows nothing but destruction and death. But I gotta admit, Stitch is absolutely great because he's a little bit of an asshole. Actually, a big asshole, because the council learned it's very common and stuff, and let's just prove that you're good. It's something good with you. It's something good with in your being. So Stitch, in one of the last stones around him, says, I don't know his language, but I'm gonna assume that it's something along the lines of, fuck your mother, to your father and fuck your mother, or something like that. Because right after he says that, the councilwoman's like, ooh, but wild beast. And then the doctor's like, it was really surprised that said that. Not even I told him that. I can teach him how to be so violent and so disgusting and so pig-headed and all this. They can get away with all this because obviously the guy has a foul mouth, but because he's an alien and because he's speaking a foreign language, he can get away with that. They can say anything they want, kind of like Cubert. So anyway, they decide to sentence him to death. So they put him in like a chamber, and they extract some DNA from him to program the machine to shoot him with like real powerful guns if he ever moved or tried to escape. This is funny to me because every single gun that they have in this movie looks a lot like Nerf guns or water pistols. So anyway, you see that besides having a very dirty mouth and very foul mind, the Stitch ends up becoming intelligent over time. And what he does is he'll actually he uses the DNA thing to actually spit on somebody while watching him, and then that turns the guns to that guy so he can make his escape. And while he does it, he grabs his own shielding and that bond him to that one spot, and he uses it to escape. Flame shields on the left and right side. So anyway, they do that, and then they also focusing with this thing. It was this one incident in the movie which reminded me of something that happened to me in real life. And that being when they were extracting his DNA, they Stitch actually almost bit the guy's hand that has the needle in it. I too almost bit my technician when he tried to get my blood for the last blood test years ago. And my arms go like this. Couldn't make them budge. My pants wouldn't make them budge either. So it wasn't very pretty sight because I was pissed off. But they eventually did it and all that, and I left angry and sore. But in any case, Stitch escapes and then goes over to Earth, and he lands on the one spot in the planet where he really shouldn't be, being that he sinks in water because of the Dead Sea, which is white. A very beautiful big island surrounded by big water. Now it's funny that they pick up exact location like this. No, very pretty culture, very pretty island, very nice water, very nice culture, very nice music that they incorporate into this movie too. Especially the Aloha voice song too. through my Miss Carrera. But in any case, I got worried about this one part too. Is that when they are actually doing when they show the location where he's going, they show him going into well, number one, exiting hyperspace and landing into going to green flames into the tropical jungle of the area. Number two is that when they show exactly where he's landing, they show it like on one of the little islands in Hawaii. They don't show the big island, but toward the end of the movie, they show him in the island area, the big island area, which is the technical name for it. So I can't get in trouble for that, but it's the big island. So which one is it? One of the little ones, or is it the big island? I mean, that's a minor thing. But then they go over to they have Jumbo go over there with Peakley, the cavalry sergeant. I forgot, but I don't know if they said which what his actual rank is, but he's like a big wig over there. And I like his character because he looks like he could be put into Osmosis Jones. Same with Jumper. And it's really quite funny that he's actually the first, I believe the first cross-dressing character in Disney history, because they show that he dresses like a woman and actually enjoys it, plays with his hair. He actually fights with Jumbo over who can wear the wig or not, and they get along like a delightful married couple. And this doesn't mean that he's transgender or anything, just like to wear women's clothing. So that's really funny to me. And he's also got two tongues in his mouth. I have no idea why, but maybe they thought that was a good idea to do that. So anyway, Lilo is with her sister Nani. Now, Lilo is like a little kid, like about 5, 6, 7 years old, and Nani is a teenager with a boyfriend, played by Ethan Lee. His name is David Quina. Okay, and she's not the parent because the parents were killed in it. I don't know if they were killed, but they were killed. It's a Disney movie. You gotta wonder if the parents are still alive. That's when you gotta question it. So anyway, they have the kids there, and they're always the threat that they're gonna be separated because Nani can't handle Lilo. Which makes a little bit of sense because, she's a teenager. She doesn't have the right patience, the right skills to deal with a little whining brat all the time. And I like Lilo because of the character. Because she's quirky, she's got real interest, she's lonely, she's a robot oddball. She's like Elvis music, she's like aliens, she likes to play with dolls. She's very, very strange. Oh yeah, I remember what that last reference was. One of the women that Nani applies for a job for is the woman that looks like Pamela Anderson Baywatch. There you go. Movie and TV show references from outside this universe. So anyway, this thing is actually really wonderfully animated, and the only problem I have with them is the faces of the people, because you know how some Disney animations can't do with realistic type faces. Well, this one is actually kind of weird because you know this is the first with the two sisters, Nani and Lilo, because they got like wide noses and like distinctive eyes. You might think that that it's just because it's supposed to be Native Hawaiian. You can let it slip because it's like an ethnic type thing. But then you look at the other people, like the tourist people, the girl that tried to apply for life saver job, a Baywatch person, and then you find that the art style that they picked for all the people in the thing. So you guys think to yourself, why did he do that for everybody? I could accept it if it was just for the not Nani and Lilo, but still, the other people I can't really like that too much. But other than that, it's brilliantly drawn, brilliantly backgrounds are gorgeous, and you want to go to Hawaii more than I do now, and which is real good. But I have to wonder what all the aliens look like they were from. They look like they were hammer sharks. They look like they were aquatic, like from at one point. I don't know. Maybe it could just be because they are from a Lilo and Stitch movie. Maybe because it was dreadful for Hawaii, like that type of thing. But then you see sharks and stuff in the water, so I don't get it. Maybe they were trying to go for like a similar evolution chain to what's out in space and stuff. I don't know. So anyway, and the thing is that the two sisters always argue. They both destroy the house. They both immature in their ways. So there's nothing really that can keep them together. And poor Mr. Bubbles, he's not really a bad guy per se in this movie. He's more of a guy that does his job. And he just do a very tough thing in which he gotta separate Nani from Lilo, because Lilo is suffering pretty much. And she gotta be separating with real people, real family and stuff. And then we learn the definition of Ohana. Ohana means family, and family doesn't get left behind. So that will come later on too. But anyway, to Stitch activate hyperspace from the escape cruiser, and then he hyperspaced away from the big mama ship. Now, I find it interesting that they do that, because I would think that besides a electromagnetic pulse EMP, I would think that big disturbance like that near a big ship like that would do a little more than that than what is presented to us. So I think that there'd be some kind of reality warping or some kind of disintegration or something or other, something more permanent than an EMP. But anyway, crash lands on Earth, and they can't bring it. They can't bring it. They can't just vaporize the planet because I feel like that could be a reference to with the elites. But then again, that was too soon for that type of thing. I think that Halo came out after this movie, so whatever. So the council wanted to nuke the planet. Basically said that because the Earth is like it homes, it's a house to home to the mosquito, which is an endangered species. First of all, I hate mosquitoes. I want them all dead. There's no reason why they should exist on this earth. They do nothing but feast off other people and other animals for sustenance. There's no reason why they only pollinate for Christ's sake. So that's that. Of all the species on Earth, you had to pick the most annoying one to be endangered. You could have picked horses, you could have picked sharks, you could have picked anything else, but you had to pick that one. I'm sure that mosquitoes are probably endangered just to this planet. I hope to God that there's no other planets that have these little bastards on them or anything. Well, I like the way at the end, toward the middle of the movie, Pixley is like, look, a majestic mosquito leaned on me to make me to take my blood for keep her from keep her in she picked me out of everybody. I like the way he said that because it's a minor thing, but with the female mosquitoes actually drink blood. If you have a male in the world mosquito just buzzes around the house and does nothing human beings. That was like a pretty good note to detail. I like that. And Mr. Bubbles said that whole thing was just a project to save the Earth from being destroyed by the Council. Which is actually really funny now to think about it. Because nobody likes mosquitoes. Even nature lovers hate mosquitoes. They would kill them indiscriminately. But anyway, they have this escape into the jungle over there, the natural rainforest, wherever that is over there. And Lilo sees it, and then he calls dibs against her sister, being that it's a big green comet that came down and landed and crashed into this. She wanted to wish upon that falling star for her family, for everything to be good and soft. Even though she drives her big sister nuts. And that's very believable. It's all believable that the kid hides in the oven and Nani gives her a sneak attack to get her out of there. So anyway, they show that Stitch is indestructible and burn proof. Even though at the end of the movie he gets burned by Captain Gantu's played by Kevin Michael Richardson, his afterburners, which makes him fly off the edge of the ship. Even though it's supposed to be unburnable, I guess it might be the force of the jet engine going against Stitch's delicate skin. When he escapes, he gets rove by a truck. He pops all tires on this one truck, on this one side of the truck. A lot of frogs, he said, they just like ribbit, and then going through his head might be like, I have cuts that they got moved by cars. It's nothing. Yeah, I'm talking about Frogger. That could be another expression for you. In the end of the movie, he saves that same frog. So he learned empathy and love for other creatures, but in the movie. So anyway, we show him going to dogs and all, because the people that ran him over are like, what the hell is that? Must be a dog of some kind. Some exotic breed dog. Did he bring him to dog tail there? And fresh from getting yelled at by Mr. Bubbles, Nani and Lilo decide to get a dog to keep her company. And so she decided to pay for the dog herself, which happened to be Stitch because all the other dogs are up in the raptors. And he tried to escape from on his own, but Jumbo is over there repeatedly, and Jumbo got amnesty from the council if he brings back Stitch for in exchange for his freedom. They can capture Stitch. So he tried to blast Stitch with his sniper rifle, but Stitch goes back inside and gets adopted by the kid. And this is funny because we find out that after the councilwoman says, he's a vile beast, you see him licking the side of the tank like ha ha ha. You can get, ha ha. So then, it's fun because when Lilo actually buys him and then goes to the paperwork and stuff and sends it out, even the woman's like, you have other dogs, why you want that one that was dead a few hours ago? And then he said, are you sure you want that dog? It's not even a dog, it doesn't even look like a dog. It's just holding its leg and spike on the back of its body. So it's like, yeah, I want that dog. Because he just it's the strange as I am. So he figured I'll get $2 and then that's it. It's your dog. And this will come up later in the movie. So then Jumbo says when he sees Stitch with the kid, like you using the little girl as a shield. That's low EVU. Now the kid doesn't hear this Jumbo, but then because of its ears. But anyway, then Stitch he shows in his ass and gets on the front legs and then again to the upside down and shows him his ass. And that is really funny because it shows how perverted he is. Also the Captain Gant too. like, for you, father. I think he's a bit of a prick, little Stitch. I love him. So, they show him bonding with the little girl. They show him that he's they're trying to teach him how to do things, how to be friendly, how to be paper trained, how to eat like a human being and all that. And it's very funny because at first he's a feral monster, a little beast, and so she's like we're gonna keep trying, mind damn it, you're gonna become my pet. And she's like, don't ever touch the picture of my family and all that. The parents that died. Let's have a good time. It's like, sorry, I'll do what I want. I'll be good. I promise you. So, Jumba figures out that the experiment number 626 is actually programmed for nothing but destruction. But being that he's on an island surrounded by big water, he can't do so. And he's trapped there. Except for like Honolulu or Waikiki or somewhere like that. But for the most part, he's trapped and he can't do anything. So he uses his power to go into more in a constructive mode, try out the local out, and then he finds a kid like Elvis, and I love when she puts his finger, his claw, on the record player, and opens the mouth, and then from all the music, out of it comes the music from the record player, and that's really funny. And one time that they do this, play a song, Hound Dog by Elvis, where Yumba says, I like that song. How do you know that song? You're an alien, for Christ's sake. Also, for the same measure, he also brings up the possible hope and I think praying, which is kind of weird. An alien bringing up religion. And doesn't that more peakly like a cross-dresser, which is real funny because he's always portrayed as the woman in a relationship, and Jamba is the husband of the father. So that's very funny. And he says, when talked to by David, like, did your wife? No, she's too ugly for me. Yeah, it's very funny. But why you gotta call why call peakly ugly? Look at yourself either. With your big feet and your hairless head, all that, and 4 eyes. Quite literally in this case. But he did the tourist thing with the holy dancers and the fire throwers and the fire ballet and stuff like that. And he showed that not only busts a butt every day, working 2 or 3 jobs just to support the little monster known as Lilo. Which again, the dynamic is like really good, really strong. And the stuff with the aliens are really strong too. It's almost like this movie with a matchup of both a family movie with the kids combined with the sci-fi element. That being Stitch, Captain Gantu, Councilwoman, etc. But it works. It works pretty good. I regret not seeing this movie and came out years ago because it's that freaking good. almost from saying bye one day. Possibly for my own little Sputniks if I had them. Sputniks being a nickname they came up with for children or spawn. So anyway, get it, friend, to help out Nanny and vegan job and stuff. But she does so with by ruining everything, which I feel is a stereotype, and she tried to bring Citra along to be like her only friend, because everyone else hates her and thinks it's weird and all that. So they tried to get her to get to play ukulele. And can't do that. The only other person I know that plays the ukulele is Miss Shanghai. I mentioned before. So anyway, with that, they tried to do the outfit thing with do the hunger burn love. I found it adorable. And what kid in Hawaii act like Elvis that much at such a young age? Oh, I like Elvis, but I don't know that much. And you see old women on the beach swarming over him and crying him and taking a picture and stuff. Which also sets up his feel instinct. I get the flashes do that to him. Well, I said that was a reference to some movie somewhere, but I can't remember what it is offhand. We have leg bulbs watching. Honestly, that may actually be a reference to Young Frankenstein, in which the Frankenstein monster is all civilized and quirky and stuff when they just put on the wrist, song on the end number, and then light bulbs break on the stage, and that's what made it go into crazy monster rampage that he's known for. So I feel that this could actually be a reference to that, because briefly Stitch said that and he goes berserk. And they also have this part where Nani and Lilo and I want to say Lilo, but Lilo, they go into they go to surfing with David. No, I used to not like Nani's leg design because I found it to be too muscular. But I thought to myself, this is alright. The girl surfs, she's obviously fit. Like, makes a lot more sense that she will be a fit person. So, David did a good job with that. He showed that the good chemistry, and most importantly, that she likes Lilo. I mean, not in a creepy for very way, but he actually likes her as a adopted daughter. Nani and him would get together. Now that would make Lilo, and his daughter more or less. So that's really cool. I don't know if I too many guys that like babies and stuff like that. As weird that may sound, but you get the idea. So anyway, they have each of them interact with each other and getting better at it until one day Mr. Bubbles has to come by the house because Stitch, the helmet, getting invaded by Jumba and Piglet looking for a Stitch, and it's like the last straw. He got fired from the job. Coincidentally, Nani keeps getting fired from her jobs, so they want to take him down using Jumba's method of just running and shooting them. And it's funny because Jumba is like a mad scientist, so he takes Stitch and hides around him and stuff, not giving a crap about Nani or Bubbles or anybody else. He just wants a target. And he gets the target, but he destroys the house and in the process. And even though Lilo said that she would keep the house in one piece, but Nani Winfrey perspective job, under David's guidance, I got a job for you. Let me go there, let me go find it. Just stay right here for 5 minutes. I'll be back in 10 minutes or whatever. Please don't let anyone in the house. And then it's like, Miss Bubbles, come in there. I'm trying to take over. They're trying to destroy my house. So Bubbles runs over there. And he's like, look what you've done. She done all this because you're responsible and left her alone. So, and I like the way she says she sees the fire department going to her house. It's like, please don't turn left. Please don't turn left. Sure enough, they turn left. Because she knows deep down that it's because Lilo that turned left. And I'm not an expert on Hawaii or anything. Remember, my friend lives in Hawaii. But, the fire truck, I can't pronounce it, it's a Hummer. It's a very into fire truck. I want to say that's a thing in Hawaii. Although they could just pick Hawaii just so they could get a nice vacation over there. I mean, I'm not gonna lie, I would do it too, just to be able to go to Hawaii on some other time. That sounds awesome. That's a good vacation. So anyway, he go over there, he rushes over there. He's like, look what you did. And thank God the family picture was saved. It was a little bit more full up, but it was still viable. So, very important here. During the course of the movie, Stitch is learning to be more family oriented because he sees the struggle of Lilo and Nani, and he reads the book, The Ugly Duckling, and he's seeing it. I'm alone and stuff. So Jumba sees this, and then he, I might well let him help out a little bit, earn some good points because he was always made for destruction, and then he's like, maybe this would be a good experiment to see how he handles it. How he handles me as always with his family, because he knows that these humans are changing him for the better. He's increasing his skills, thinking skills, his language, not being a little asshole anymore. Until again to try to take him in or So anyway, he lets him out, but only began to come by, and he's like this big type of macho truck-headed with elephant foot, hard ass cop. So he tried to take Stitch away, but he captures Lilo too instead. So he puts him on the back of the ship. In like a capsule pod that you find in the claw machines. So then he's like Stitch escapes from the crack in the capsule, and he gets burned off again by getting to, he falls to the ground, and because you two have to try getting back. Now, why he doesn't take the pod with him in the ship, I have no idea. But anyway, he ends up doing an Arizona took right with him, and then he makes land on the ground and takes a truck and hijacks it. And shoots a little front friend from the big truck. Now it's funny because this truck has a license on this that says 81113, which is with the other Pixar Disney movies where I think that caused room of the old Pixar team. Something like that, but it's been a lot of movies. Anyway, he drives it into a lava volcano, and he ends up detonating it because big ass truck. And he even said again to that you're a stupid head, you're a stinky head, or something like that. So good job with the humor there. And he also began to also call him an abomination. So he flies up at him, but he misses, and then Jumbo decides to help him out. So then Jumbo helps him out with getting to him and crashing him into the mountainside and all that. He destroyed that guy's ice cream again. I believe that he also eats the same flavor of ice cream, pistachio. Really funny with that. You can't catch a break, can you? So anyway, the guy ends up let me see what the book from. They all get captured and they go to the end ship because they crashing into the fire, and when the councilwoman takes them into custody using the same locks and stuff that double handcuffs that Jumbo used on Stitch beforehand, but then he released because he wanted to help out Lilo get him back from getting to. So then you see you see Stitch talking to the councilwoman and saying that I'm Stitch. This is my family. Can I say goodbye? And then the woman's like, oh my god, he can speak. And it's quite fluid and quite gentlemanly, not like the ravenous creature beforehand, the feral beast, the foul-mouthed creature. And he's like, Ohana is family doesn't get left behind. I'm sorry I have to go. So she genuinely feels bad for it, and she comments that Mr. Bubbles used to work for the CIA and they used to meet the aliens and stuff. So I guess it must have been like the dude from Futurama. And just in a very dignified way that you had to come with us now. So then Mr. Bubbles said that because of the paperwork that Lilo signed herself and got seen by the Hawaii, that Lilo now is owner of Stitch. So they can't take Stitch without kidnapping and stealing. So I have no idea why the laws of Earth apply to laws of intergalactic space. You know, the alien councilwoman could just say, fuck it. I'm sorry, little girl, but your little pet alien dog creature has to come with us and be destroyed. See, this is why we should support Trump's Golden Dome to prevent aliens from coming to Earth. If we just had that dome on there, a big hole in the sky, none of this shit would happen. But she runs, she puts Stitch on exile to planet Earth. And even though he can't swim, he still enjoys the water rather than just going away from it, turning away from the water. And I like Chris Sanders, who inspired the idea for this movie. I like his voice when it is because whenever Stitch goes into his feral mode, or whenever he makes a joke, why that's comedy, he always just like a cat or something like that. And they'll like, and then hi, and that's really funny. It's perfect. You can just go a long time like that. And let's see, particularly it's voiced by Kevin McDonald and Keegan Wright, and let's see, one of the employers for Nani was voiced by Amy Help, and that was so funny. But anyway, I love the part where they go on surfing and Stitch almost drowns, and David ended up saving his life and was about to get him out. And caught into that. It's a great because otherwise, because of Stitch's density, it would sunk right to the bottom of the ocean. But because he didn't, he was safe. Now, I have to question about that, because I would think that there'd be a little bit more of a shelf to the Hawaiian Islands. It wouldn't be like a sharp drop off into the water, into the deep ocean. I think that the shelf would last like half a mile from the shoreline, before it really plunges down deep. So there's that. I don't think that stuff would necessarily drown in that space. But so anyway, everyone have a happy ending where Jumba and Pickley have to be put on this the Earth to monitor the delegate mosquito extinction population, the endangered species. I mean, and I like what you have Lilo as being the part of the masculine, delicate, uh, food chain. There was a light by Mr. Bubbles to prevent the place from being destroyed by the Galactic Senate, by the Republic. So anyway, I like this movie. I like this movie a lot, and I regret not seeing it when it came out in 2002. The movie is magical. The acting is superb. The animation is gorgeous. The background's off. Chef's Kiss wonderful. I like a little happy ending at the end because of paperwork. I like the fact that Jumba and Beakley have to be there together as a married couple, more or less. I like the way Jumba is an alien, but he speaks in a Russian dialect with a very heavy accent and a very heavy the way a Russian would speak with a heavy accent. You know, missing words and vowels and verbs and stuff. So anyway, this movie is a treasure. I can definitely see why people love it so much, and why it's so important to Disney mythos. And I think that some of the sequels were pretty good. And I also like the design for Stitch. He looks like a tarantula or something. And I like the way they have him defend Lilo's honor. And because of him, she gets more right with school. She wants to attend school more often, and she's more sociable. Probably because they're for a Stitch. I also like the way that he can pull his arms and make him look like a dog. But also, on that note, I heard that an enemy of a four-legged animal was a pain in the ass. I could hardly imagine what doing it with six limbs was like. I also like the way, near the end of the movie, Stitch is more intelligent and more lovable as a being than just a mindless monster creature. And I like the way the council recognizes that and helps him out. And just makes the bubble solid. And I like the jokes about mosquitoes. I like that. The references to movies and TV shows. It's a very likable movie. And very funny. And thank you for watching my video on Lilo and Stitch from 2002. It was a very delightful movie, and I did this for Asian History Month in 2025. But I know that Hawaiian are technically Asian, but it's Pacific Islanders, and there's a very large population of Japanese and Chinese people in Hawaii, so it's not one of counts. And besides, they're gonna be having a remake in a few days. So I think that's very timely for them to do that during Asian History Month. I also like the way they have Beakley being swamped with mosquitoes just at one time too. Never any other time, just at once. So, anyway, as you can tell, I love the movie. I love the movie so much that I'm gonna give this a very hearty, happy face. Seal of approval. Because it's beautiful. Movie, it's great. I would let remember off when I did it, when I saw it. And I feel like that it's kind of the type about Nani going to get a job and then little sister ruining it for her. I feel like that's a stereotype from other movies too. Not just this one, and not just this movie. So anyway, I liked it a lot. It worked pretty well. The kids well together, and it was just a delight to watch it. So if you guys like what you hear, want to see more of my videos, you know, like, comment, share, and subscribe to my channel. If you want to give me any future comments or opinions about future videos and stuff, by calling me or texting me at 631-707-3707. Or if you like, you can always follow me on Twitter or X if you prefer. And you can also get me on my email at JJ's Viewing Channel. My Twitter or X is J is P Nelson Pro, by the way. So ask all the people who like this type of Lilo and Stitch. A very odd couple indeed. And I like the way the two misfits come together and stuff and have fun with each other. And you know, it's very groovy. I like Disney movies. I like Hawaii, of course. It's paradise on Earth. So, my brothers and sisters, who's your favorite alien in the show? Besides Stitch. Anyway, aloha. Oh, wait until we meet again in the next video. To all you girls and guys in internet land, sayonara. See you in the next video.